Good morning out there, everybody. I'm your host, Alan. Appreciate you tuning into the drive this morning. As you get your cup of joe and get ready to head over to wherever your workplace may be at. We've got a good show lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen. And Coach Duck, I've got some apologizing to do. And the theme of our show today is built for the pressure. Are you built for it? Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this thing. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you tuning into the drive this morning as you get that cup of joe and get ready to head over to the workplace. Hey, we made it again. It's going to be hump day, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I want to start off the show by apologizing to each and every one of you out there who've been tuning into the show. The devil tried to get me yesterday. I didn't even really realize that the show hadn't dropped. I usually would watch the show, but I was kind of running late. And I would watch the show, but I was running late. And when I got over across the highway, I looked down and I got a message from you know who, Pastor Lewis, and he was saying that, hey man, where you at? And I thought, wait, and I tried to go back and look at it and thought it was going to drop, but it didn't. So I have a lot of stuff. I be doing a lot of videos and stuff, and my iCloud was full, and I didn't go back and didn't take the time and go back and download some stuff. So for some reason, it wouldn't let me download on there until I got home and got everything situated out. So, but hey, once again, we're back, and I appreciate all you guys, and that lets me know that you're enjoying the show, and I greatly appreciate it. So let's jump right into it, and I've got something special I want to tell you guys, and we'll get into that as we go into the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, our news section this morning is brought to you by all the ladies up at the courthouse, Terry and Miss Terry Renarsworth, and all the ladies up there that are doing a good job, and they've been up there working and grinding, man. And we know how it is up there, and all the ladies out there, and all these office jobs that are doing their thing, man. We really appreciate your hard work and sacrifice that you're doing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into it. Hurricane season. Hurricane season is officially started, and what's the number one key to survival during hurricane season? Pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen. You need to evacuate when they say that you need to evacuate. Now, if you cannot evacuate when it's time to evacuate, what you need to do is you need to try to find some structure, some shelter, not just by yourself with 2 or 3 people. You need to get in a mix of people, maybe at some place. I don't know, Pastor Lewis General would have a Nehemiah Center open or something like that, or our church at Dixie, we would have our place center or something like that open, and a lot of churches around here for the people who don't evacuate. But the number one thing is evacuate. And let's make sure that you pay attention, because we live in a place where we can't say that it doesn't happen, because it happens here seemingly like every year. And I don't want to jinx it, I'm going to knock on wood, but we don't have it one come up on it. So the number one key to survival during hurricane season is definitely evacuation. Let's keep this thing rolling. Well, the Shelby County Police Department in North Carolina. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a long way off. My ex-wife is from out there in North Carolina. I know my kids, our great-grandmother, and them all live out there. And ladies and gentlemen, a police officer out there, Carson Hudson, beat a black female. He beat her like she was a dude. Unnecessary. And then the lady was a mental patient. She at the same, when he was beating her, she was asking for a mama. And this was unnecessary for this dude to beat this woman like that. And I know that we have the thing with white police officers beating blacks. Oh, well, yeah. But this case right here, any case is bad. But this right here, this don't even make no sense. To beat this woman like that, man, doesn't make no sense. Then this dude, they fired him. He out of jail on $10,000 bond. No, ladies and gentlemen, he needs to see the Reaper, not the Grim Reaper. You know what I mean? He needs to pay the price, because that was unnecessary. And we see it so many times where the wrong people get badges and guns and weapons, man, and they use that to use it to take advantage of people. So that's a very heartbreaking situation right there. To see something like this, we know that it goes on, but to see that it still goes on and to beat the woman like a dude. But I bet if it was a dude and he had that gun, they'd have rat-tat-tatted him. So that's what you get right there. So let's get on out of that story, because I start to feel some kind of way about stuff like that. And I'm not talking about towards no white person. I'm talking about towards any police officer, because you remember last year or so ago, it was some black police officers tripping. It was some black ones tripping. So no, Coach Duck don't operate like that. I keep it real about the real deal. They all, not all of them, but you know what I mean. Blacks, white, Mexican. You seen the Mexican girl down in Houston. Now she was tripping with the N word. So it ain't just the whites. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep this thing rolling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, another day where Coach Duck is telling you something about the war. Where Coach Duck is telling you something about the war and something ain't happening. Now, Iran says they're going to completely shut down the Strait of Hormuz. I thought it was already completely shut down. The reason they're shutting it down completely is because President Trump and the United States violated the ceasefire agreement. I don't. Can somebody out there get in the comments on the video and tell me what's really going on? I know what the truth is. There's a Jake Payton from Dixie Baptist Church, one of my cousin's kids. He's over there. I got my brother's daughter. She's over there in China. Man, we got family members over there, man, in this mess that don't even make no sense. So, and once again, gas prices are trickling up. So that's another story right there. It doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep this thing rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Nike. Yeah, you know the shoe company. I know the first thing you're thinking about when I say Nike. MJ. MJ ain't hurting for no cash, though. But he ain't got no recession going on. He ain't got no. Yeah, he does. Because if they ain't said, if Nike talking about laying off, they done laid off 1,400 more people. Their second round of layoffs, ladies and gentlemen. They said the company's losing money. Nike losing money? So if Nike's losing money, what you think the local mom and pop stores are doing? What you think everybody's having a hard time robbing Peter to pay Paul, man? Robbing Peter to pay Paul. So that's another story right there, ladies and gentlemen, that definitely should get your attention. Okay, should get your attention. Well, that's it for the news section, ladies and gentlemen. But before we move forward, I'm going to need you to hit the like and subscribe button if you're on YouTube and if you're on Facebook. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Once again, I'm telling you, just by the fact that you know that I wasn't on air yesterday, let me know that you love the show, and I'm going to keep this thing rolling. Once again, I'm going to tell you, the devil can't get in my way. I told a guy one time, he's talking about the devil. I said, man, sometimes it seems like the devil been riding with me so long. I tell him when he get in the car, man, just put your seatbelt on because you ain't driving. You ain't driving because he driving. You ain't driving. You ain't driving. So the thing for today is, can you stand the pressure? Can you stand the pressure? And that goes out for the young people. And we're going to get to the young people on our way out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. In our sports section, ladies and gentlemen, our sports section is brought to you by Mrs. Carmen Franks, former legendary Bulldog, former legendary LSU volleyball player. And it goes out to my friend Luciana Babin over in Woodville. She's getting ready to have her camp on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's going to be exciting. And she puts on a great camp, man. And she's a great person, man. A great friend. Her and I think you already know how I feel about him. She's great, man. So Luciana Babin, man, love you to death. You and Dad and the boys. Hey, so Miss Luciana Babin and Corpus Franks, they play volleyball out there at LSU, man. So Tigers in the house. Tigers in the house, definitely for sure. So they're going to bring out our sports section. So in our sports section, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Rich Paul. Rich Paul says that Scottie Pippen's 6 rings are just like Michael Jordan's 6 rings, but Michael Jordan wouldn't have no rings if Scottie Pippen wasn't playing with him. Well, I'm going to tell Rich Paul to go kick rocks. Coach Duck gonna tell him to go kick rocks. First off, Michael Jordan has always stated publicly that he didn't win the championship without Scottie Pippen. But to sit here and say that Michael Jordan wouldn't win no championships without Scottie Pippen, man, stop. The problem that I have with it, if Rich Paul wants LeBron James to be number 1, okay, man. Okay, that's his opinion. All this stuff is based on a matter of opinion. But how much of the knowledge does Rich Paul really have? Okay, if like when I'm talking to you about the Jasper Bulldogs, I started watching football when I knew what was going on in 1976 for the Jasper Bulldogs. So when I tell you that a player was great, hey, man, I can tell you players like Jose Moore. Most of you youngsters don't even know who Jose Moore is. I can tell you about players like that. You got to have the whole book. But to demean another person, to uplift somebody else, to uplift yourself is only the way of a coward. Only the way of a coward. You can't diminish MJ to uplift LeBron. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, before we head on, I give you what I got to tell you of something special. When did LeBron James pass Kobe Bryant? I'm just asking y'all. Get in the comments and tell me when he passed Kobe Bryant. Now, ladies and gentlemen, day 2 of the Jasper Bulldogs training. And I went back and took the video. I know that the guy was recording it. He kind of had his phone up down. So you see I turned it upside down and try straight. So the Jasper Bulldogs are getting it on. But it's going to really matter, man, in week 4 and week 5 and week 6. Okay, because week 1 and 2, the first couple of days, yeah, everybody's just getting in the groove, man. But when the rubber hits the road, man, and it's hot now, but you know it's going to be hotter than that in a couple of days. a couple of weeks. All the players going to continue on. I know Trevor Beatty, you all seen the video that I done about leadership, and his young man is putting, I'm not telling, and I want you to make sure you understand something, because I know how some of you people out there are, right? I'm not the coach of the Jasper Bulldogs football team. That's Coach Foreman. I will say that Coach Trevor Beatty going to be the quarterback. I'm working with him, but I can't. That's Coach Foreman to put them kids in the positions, okay? He's the one to put them in the position, so I don't want nobody to get that twisted up, okay? I'm not the coach of the team. I love the team, but hey, man, I'm not the coach of the team, but I know that kid is putting in the work. I know he's putting in the work, and it's going to be hell for him to. I tell you what, I'm going to say this. It's his position to lose. And I'm sure Coach Foreman would get mad at me by saying that it's his position to lose. So I know how you, some of you out there are. But hey, the Jasper Bulldogs. Now, on the note of the Jasper Bulldogs, I really greatly appreciate all of you watching the story that I done about the story of the Jasper Bulldogs. Incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the things I told you about like what we're really known for, and we are more than that, and all the pro football players, and for all the guys out there, that's just some of them, ladies and gentlemen. That's just some of them. I can start naming off a lot more guys that play pro, college, arena football. That's just some of them. So I don't want, and the guys, they're not going to think up. They know how I roll, man. I'm friends with all of them. And respect is something, because all of the guys, I don't want to call them kids, but all of them guys who play football for the Jasper Bulldogs, they all have an utmost amount of respect for me, because they respect the people that came along before them. Like I respect the Quince Harris. Like, say, Spoonie Scott respects me. Like the kids who played out the Spoonie Scott respect Spoonie Scott. The people that played out the Cedric House, that's how it goes right there, man. It's about respect. So it's not us. It's not the players who don't get caught up in that. But the reason I'm telling you that, ladies and gentlemen, because that was just a fire starter for what I have planned for you. I have a show planned for you, and I've been working on it for quite some time now, right? And this show, hopefully by next Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to try to get it dropped. And I want to get it finished in process, right? And it's a story about the Jasper Bulldogs, the Newton Eagles, the Silsbee Tigers, the Woodville Eagles, and Kirbyville. All three teams, all four teams. And it's a build-up, ladies and gentlemen, to what's going to go on within the season. So I'm going to give you a little bit of it now. You're going to see me at every one of the stadiums probably talking, and then I'm going to give you, that's all I'm going to tell you. But it's going to be a show that I want you to, when I drop it, I'm going to want you to, and I'm going to try to drop it on the night when the NBA finals ain't going. I'm going to try to drop it by 7:30, 8 o'clock, so I can get it processed and make sure this drop, so you can sit back and watch it, because it won't be long before this thing kicks off, ladies and gentlemen. And if you happen to see old Coach Duck around town with his camera and iPad, because you know how I roll, and I start to ask you questions about football, you're probably going to be on the show. I'm just keeping it real with you. You're probably going to be on the show at some point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that's a special one I got for you. And just wait for it. And just wait for it. So on the way out, ladies and gentlemen, this one goes out to the young kids out there, or young people, because, you know, a lot of times we always want to label the young kids for what they, and talk about what the young kids do not do, ladies and gentlemen. But there are a lot of young kids out there that are doing a great job. And this goes out for them, goes out to you. No profanity or nothing like that. But this is a good one for you. And it's about, are you built for the pressure? Coach Duck. Hey, and some of you old ones out there, hey, I promise you, everybody gonna like this one. Everybody's gonna like this one. Crack the windows, turn it up, and have a good day. Let's get into it. Watch this. I was built for this pressure. Are you built for the pressure? I was built for this pressure. Yeah, I was built for this pressure. Yo, yeah. I was built for this pressure. I don't fold, I apply every setback a setup. Now I'm moving in silence. They was hoping I'd break, but I just sharpened my mindset. Now stepping in clean, whole aura is timeless. I was built for this pressure. I don't run, I embrace it. Every loss was a lesson. Now I'm back and now I'm dangerous. Ain't no fear in my chest. I put the work in and face it. If the mountain in front of me, watch me climb it and claim it. Yeah. Came up out the mud with a vision and a blueprint. Did it with my hands, no excuses, no loose ends. People love to talk, but they never really do this. I was in the lab while they scrolling. They was talking when I first started doing these videos. What is he doing? They ain't talking now. Kids, you ain't got to be tough. Just stay built for the pressure. Turn it up, Spoonie Scott. Turn it up, Carlos Beatty. Turn it up, Raphael. Turn it up, Nasara, Tonette. Turn it up. PJ, turn it up.
Pressure on my back, but I stand up taller. Every time I fall, I come back way stronger. Destiny ain't luck, it's the grind that you wanna. If you want the throne, better move like you want it. I was built for this pressure. I don't fold, I apply every setback a setup. Now I'm moving in silence. They was hoping I'd break, but I just sharpened my mindset. Now stepping in clean.
I'm going to keep pumping them out. And I want y'all to just keep watching them. We're going to take over this thing. A new voice. A voice for the people. Not the black people. Not the white people. Not the Mexican people. A voice for all the people. This Coach Duck, D9J Sports. Where we venture off to other things. I'm definitely O-U-T.